Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq hollering at you one more again. All right. Another beautiful fall day, huh? I love it, right? So, as I'm enjoying the outdoors, like I do daily, folks, one thing I'll say off top before I even get too deep in the video, and first of all, thank you all. I love you all. And, you know, I can't say enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you. And man, we have moved so far forward in cementing in this new paradigm. It's beautiful, right? It's beautiful as a collective experience. So, as I like to say from time to time, take a bow and give yourselves a round of applause because you sure deserve it. True indeed. But as I'm in this environment and thinking about all of us as a collective, right? I think about the very premises of my first book, Peace, Love, Respect, This is the New Way. And the main focus of that book is the prevalence of a new mindset over an old, right? Unity consciousness over separation mentality. But to go into it just a little bit deeper, right? So, what do you mean, King, when you talk about unity consciousness? First of all, I want to get to the very basic foundation of that concept. Folks, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter what discipline or perspective you're coming from. Scientists of all of various disciplines, we'll say, all agree on the fact that everything in existence emanates from essentially one energetic source, right? Even when we're talking about the Big Bang Theory, we're talking about everything emanating or being emitted forth from a centralized energetic source, right? Of course, if you're talking about anything theological, then you would refer to the highest power refer to the creator, God, whatever term, theological discipline you were speaking from, doctrine, you would refer to everything emanating from the creator or from the creative source, right? So the two don't differ, right? Either way of trying to explain our origination or how we came about in existence, human beings, this planet, solar system, galaxy, universe, the multiverse, right? No matter how far out you take it, in origination, you always have to start with one source. All right? So we're talking about the same energy in many different forms, right? We're talking about an incredible creative energy that emanates from one creative source. So if you have an incredible creative energy that is surging outwardly forth to create our existence, our reality, right? Then are not all things in that creation, in that existence, in that reality, are not all things, in fact, comprised of, made from, emanate from, or derived from, in some way spring forth from the very same energy, right? I mean, it's actually not that complicated, right? I mean, we go back and forth about this subject, and we all have our different perspectives as we expound on the subject. But when you really just water it down, or rather when you really narrow it down, when you retrospectively go back to the roots or the origin or the beginning, right? When you pathologically go back in time to the onset or to the initiation, to the beginning of existence, all things that are and have been created into existence sprang forth from one energetic source, right? Everything, without exception, can have its origins traced back to one energetic source. So if that is correct, is not everything of that very same energy? And if everything is of the very same energy in that way alone, are we not all connected? Right? Folks, we need to understand that that is the case, that we all and everything is of one energy, of one energetic source, and thus existing as an aspect of one energetic field, right? When we know how energy exists, it exists in both particle and wave form and makes up an energetic field. No matter how expansive that field might be, even if it is never ending in its expansion, excuse me, even if it is never ending in its expansion, it is still an expansive energetic field, right? They talk you hear it all the time. You hear scientists, physicists say it all the time. The universe is expanding, is always expanding. Okay. Creation, existence is always expanding. It is the same expanding energetic field. The same expanding field of energy. The same energy. All things are of the same energy. If all things are of the same energy and exist somewhere in some location, right? Some designation, some cross-section of information or code, right? However you want to describe existence, it is all within and of the same field, one unified field of energy. One unified field of energy. Everything that exists is a part of one unified field of energy. To be aware of that, intrinsically, to be aware of that, is consciousness of that, of the fact that everything is ultimately of the same energy and part of the same unified, energetic, expansive field. To be aware of that, to existentially comprehend that, and to that extent understand at your core, at the foundation of your consciousness, of your reality, that all things are indeed connected and unified in that field. That is unity consciousness. Because when you understand that, world life, family, peace, love, respect, unity consciousness. True indeed. Check me out, family. Big King Sadiq. Big King Sadiq, S-A-D-I-Q.
Is it on Instagram?
YouTube. Worldwide movement, peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq. Thank you, family. I appreciate you. See how the field expands? See how the unity within the field expands in different forms. The consciousness, the awareness, right? We're all connected. It's ever so fitting that that should happen, right? The young brother coming by, instantly connecting on to what I was building on, right? Perfect that that should happen, because that is an example of the fact that these newer generations and the children who are being born onto the planet now are coming in already attuned more to the unified vibrational frequency of the universe, more attuned, more aware, more conscious of the unity of us all, more in unity consciousness. Already, when they're born, when they come here, they're already in unity consciousness. It feels natural to them. Many of them may not realize it, but they could be dealing with anxiety and other social or mental issues or emotional issues in relation to the fact that they're not finding the unity consciousness that is natural to them. When they come in contact with the old paradigm and the separation mentality that it adheres to, it doesn't jive with them. It's not natural to them. It's not harmonious. And they know that there's better, that there's a higher vibrational frequency that they should be resonating in and with, and that all of humanity should. Right? But that was beautiful, and that was a wonderful example, very fitting, that the young man would just be passing by and just, oh, what's that you building on, bro? You know, and catch the vibe and want to be a part of the worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. I keep telling y'all, we grow every single day. Huh? Understand that we are moving forward in our evolution. And as we do so, we're becoming more and more aware of the fact that we are all unified at an energetic conscious level. We are becoming more and more a part of and unified in unity consciousness, right? Beautiful thing I just noticed. No chemtrails in the sky, at least in this little area. I always celebrate that, right? All right, folks. It is happening more and more every day. That was a small evidence, but know that that is but a microcosm that is giving you a picture of what is happening on the macrocosm. We are all evolving into higher and higher consciousness, into higher awareness, into unity consciousness. And with that, we have the beautiful gift or the beautiful side effect or the beautiful result or product of unity consciousness, which is that we have the ability to increase and access higher efficacy states of our own very DNA, of our very own DNA, right? So again, as you increase in higher states of consciousness, that increase in higher consciousness affects your DNA and increases your efficacy rate. How much of your DNA is effective? I believe I've stated several times before that most of us are generally operating, or at least were, generally operating only right around the 30th percentile, right? But we're seeing that number bump up higher and higher and higher as we continue to evolve in higher consciousness. The two things go hand in hand, right? DNA is literally affected, is literally put into a state where it can express more fully when it exists in higher vibrational frequency states, like higher consciousness. Folks, understand that the same way I know this and many others know this, the socially economic elite, don't mind me, I'll be clowning a little bit. But the socially economic elite, the cabal of globalists, depopulationists who want to adhere and hold on to and to clutch onto the old paradigm of separation mentality that brought us as its result or its side effect or its product nothing but misery, pain, and hate, right? And everything akin to it. Those folks understand, just like I understand, that this is something that is happening worldwide to humanity, right? And in desperate efforts, part of their desperate response are these chemtrails, are the toxins and calcification agents contained within the chemtrails, right? And the same things in the food supply and the water supply, particularly here in the West. But if you look with a watchful eye, you'll certainly find it worldwide, right? Unfortunately. But the fortunate part is now we know. For so long, we didn't know about any of this, right? And that is just exactly the way that the socially economic elite wanted to keep it, right? And their sequestering of information was their most effective means of doing so, because if they can control what information you have with which to form your opinions, they can essentially control how you think, right? And that goes hand in hand with their response to the fact that they know people are evolving. The calcification agents that I mentioned, that are in the chemtrails, that are in some of the tampering efforts or some of the toxifying efforts that we see of agricultural giants like Monsanto. I say like because Monsanto's did their thing, did their damage, and then went on ahead and merged with a pharmaceutical giant. If I'm not mistaken, they merged with Bayer. And, you know, they did their thing, got in and got out, and the government made sure that they're not held responsible in the slightest. But that's a whole nother subject. But yeah, all of these different ways that these toxins and calcification agents are introduced to us, right? Through the air and the chemtrails, through the food supply, right? Particularly with all the biologically engineered ingredients, right? Many of them are very low vibrational frequency and harmful to human beings in ways that most people don't research to find out, right? Unfortunately. In the water supply, through all of these medications that we are and have made so popular, right? These are different ways in which to attack your pineal organ, right? Which is the direct target of what I refer to as those calcification agents. What are they calcifying? They calcify your pineal organ, right? Why do that? Because your pineal organ is directly responsible for and directly attributable to your ability to tune your own vibrational frequency. Did you know that? I'll restate that. Your pineal organ is very much responsible for and attributable to your ability to tune your vibrational frequency, amongst other things, like the production of your neuromelanin, your melatonin, which helps to regulate your circadian rhythms, all sorts of high-level things that, when healthy, are incredibly beneficial to you and are pivotal in your ability and the rate in which you are, and the refinement of your ability to be able to tune your vibrational frequency and benefit and continue to excel further in your body's natural increasing of your DNA efficacy, right? So, yeah, folks, that is being attacked right out in your open, right out in the open, sort of in your face ways, right? Chemtrails right over your heads when you look up in the sky, your water supply, your food supply, toxic medications that are constantly being pushed to you. We have so many advertisements for medications in this country, for pharmaceuticals, and I don't think people realize that doesn't happen all around the world, right? Other countries don't allow that. Most other countries don't allow that, I should say. All right, folks, I just need you to understand the difference between the two. Unity consciousness really is understanding the fact, not the premise that, not the theory that, right? Not the wish that or the hope that, not the pie in the sky dream that one day we will all be unified, but the reality, the fact that, at least at the energetic level, which is truly our most basic level and the most basic level of anything in existence, because everything is energy. Everything. The tree to your right, the ground you're walking on, right? Everything that you see, hear, smell, touch, taste, everything is energy. So we're talking about awareness of the reality of the fact that everything is energy, and at that level is all connected in one unified, energetic, expansive field. We are all unified, and to be aware of that, to be intrinsically aware of that at your core, and to have that expand and direct throughout your consciousness, that is unity consciousness, right? When you go forward, and because you know this at your core, you have no choice but to live and for your every aspect of your existence to be affected by that knowledge, and to know going forward that everything, everyone is all connected, right? It positions you for a certain level of spiritual maturity to attain and to resonate in, that would is cementing and will continue to cement our new high vibrational frequency paradigm. One that I like to say, is of peace, love, respect. All right. So I really just want everybody to understand what I mean when I say unity consciousness versus separation mentality. Now, separation mentality is just the opposite. And it's why we will refer to the old paradigm as an illusion. Because separation is an illusion. Separation at this level, at this dimensional state, this 3D, 4D dimensional state, is the elusive nature of this level of density, right? Or this dimensional state of existence, excuse me. And I don't want to start making up words. All right. So, understand that, as I just pointed out and giving you a whole plethora of proof that you can research and independently delve into on your own, that unity consciousness is real. Separation mentality, perceiving that, what is separation mentality? Separation mentality is perceiving separation and letting that permeate, be the basis for, be the foundation of your consciousness, right? Seeing separation in everything and in everyone, right? And it is that seeing separation in everything, and particularly in everyone, that has developed symptomatically the old paradigm, where we have so much conflict. You don't have conflict until you first see separation, folks, right? Right? Do you not have to see two separate sides to have enemies? You have to perceive separation in order to invent conflict. You do not have conflict without separation, right? Otherwise, you're conflicting yourself. You have to have separation in your mentality in order to have conflict as a basis of your mentality, right? And we can see clearly, you don't need me to provide 15, 20 minutes worth of evidence that separation mentality breeds conflict. We can look at the world and the old paradigm that we've existed in for far too long to see the symptomology of separation mentality, to see the paradigm that it creates for human beings to exist on this planet and beyond, right? Separation mentality breeds the old paradigm of misery, pain, and hate, and the like, right? All of that symptomology, all of those results, that product, that paradigm is a result of separation mentality, which in itself, again, is but an illusion. Is but an illusion. Because why? Because we know for a fact, the truth is, folks, that separation is not real. It's an illusion. It's an illusion that allows a construct like this matrix, right? It fosters a paradigm of misery, pain, and hate, of separation that starts at the microcosm between individuals and balloons into the macrocosm of separation and conflict between states or governments, right? And what does that lead to? One of the worst things that this planet has ever and ever would see: war, right? The mass taking of lives, the mass destruction of property, places, of natural areas on the planet, war and all of its ills only exists. That level of conflict only exists in a paradigm that is supported by separation mentality. That's what we're moving out of, right? That's what we're moving out of, folks. We're moving out of the old paradigm that is supported by separation mentality into a new paradigm. Again, one that I like to refer to as a paradigm of peace, love, respect, that is supported by a new mentality, a new consciousness, if you will. Unity consciousness. Unity consciousness versus separation mentality. That is the process of evolution that humanity is undergoing. That's where we're at right now. We're moving out of separation mentality, and we're learning more about, we're adopting, and we're cementing in unity consciousness and a new paradigm that is born from it. That is what the socially economic elite are trying so vehemently to avoid. That is what they are literally afraid of, because, you know, in that new paradigm of unity consciousness, of higher consciousness, of higher DNA efficacy, of higher mental states, of human beings thinking literally utilizing higher brain waves like gamma waves. Folks, this is real, right? It's not spooky time. It's not delusional corner. This is real. No matter how you want to research it, look it up, delve into it, attempt to debunk it, there is a profound change happening in humanity right now on this planet. It is a change in paradigm. A paradigm shift is occurring. It is a result of us having survived, right? Having survived our own continued devolution and separation mentality as we were actually evolving on a whole, growing ever so steadily out of separation mentality. The key was, would we survive without killing ourselves, without destroying ourselves? Remember the old equation. Technological advancement, absent spiritual maturity, will lead you to self-destruction every single time. The beautiful thing is that we were able to avoid self-destruction before we would make it into this part of the galaxy that fosters higher consciousness, that has brought us and exposed us to energies that foster our evolution in consciousness. We've arrived. Folks, it's nothing spooky about it. If you were paying attention to scientific journals and magazines over the past 10, 15 years, you would see what I'm saying. This is not something brand new. We have seen that we are moving into a different area of the galaxy that houses very different energies, that has energies that are very profound and prevalent and that affect everything in our solar system as it is in this area of the galaxy, which includes not only all the other planets in the sun, but this planet right here and everything on it. I'm trying to, this has got to register, folks. This is not like, you know, a debunkable, debatable, oh, this is some crazy theory. No, this is what's happening. We were always constantly revolving around the center of our galaxy. We were always on an orbit around the center of our galaxy, our solar system and every other solar system in this galaxy, right? That's fact. And not every area of the galaxy is carbon copy, is what's the word I'm really looking for? Cookie cutter cut. It's not all the same, is what I'm getting at, right? And thus, it is actually only logical there would be very different, profoundly different energies in some of these areas of the galaxy. That's all logical. And what we have noticed while we're in this area, in this part of the galaxy, is that the energies that we're being exposed to have had a very profound effect on the sun, right? And have also had a very profound effect on the planets in the solar system, namely our planet as well. And those energetic changes have had a profound effect on humanity. We are thinking more frequently in higher brain waves. It's not me making this up. Look it up. And if you pay attention, you will see in the world very easily. It's not even difficult to notice if you just but pay attention. If you just but pay attention to conversations that people are having. Come on, folks. You know people are talking about things today that 30 years ago we didn't even have any idea. We were completely in the dark about. Right? That's what's happening. That's what will continue to happen. This is the information age, as well as a time of awakening on the planet. The information that has been sequestered, that has only aided in keeping us in separation mentality, right? Little by little, more and more every day is coming out in a way that cannot be stopped. That cannot be stopped. Folks, if as evidence of this, you see some of the largest, most powerful governments in the world panicking and rushing to pass historic censorship laws, all aimed around controlling what you have access to learning. What does that tell you? That should make it quite clear that they are afraid of you learning things that they wanted to keep from you. It's just logic. It's just common sense. If they're doing this, they're not. Why do you think they would just be up and out of nowhere having this incredible focus on stopping you from learning so many things? Folks, anybody with wisdom will tell you truth stands on its own. And truth stands up to scrutiny. So if they were espousing truths, if they are being factual, if they were being transparent with you, then they would not be so concerned about what you're saying to one another. Huh? If what they're resting on is rooted in truth, they would have nothing to worry about. Truth always stands up to scrutiny. What doesn't stand up to scrutiny is a lie. What doesn't stand up to scrutiny is deception. What doesn't stand up to scrutiny is manipulation. What doesn't stand up to scrutiny is sequestering of information. Why are you hiding things? What are you afraid of us knowing? Right? Think about that, folks. This is why social engineering is focused on dumbing down your attention span, on causing you to less frequently ask the question, why? Why is it this way? Why is this being done? Why is this happening? What's the motivation here? Who does this benefit and who does it harm? Right? They don't want you thinking in those terms. They don't want you to ask those sorts of questions. Because you are awakening. You are evolving. We are all moving forward with this paradigm shift. We are all evolving into higher consciousness. We are all moving forward. Awakening, if you will, every single day into a new higher vibrational frequency paradigm, one that is fostered by unity consciousness, one that is aiding us in the getting out of and escaping the symptomology of, and quite frankly, spiritually maturing out of the old paradigm, one that supported misery, pain, and hate, one that was fostered by, one that could only be adhered to, administered, upheld, and continued in a state of separation mentality. Once again, folks, this comes down to unity consciousness versus separation mentality. We're moving forward into unity consciousness. That's fact. That's happening. They're panicking about it. They would love to stop it, but can't. We have arrived. If they could literally take our solar system and rewind our orbit, right, back to a point where we were not in this area of the galaxy with these energies that are fostering the evolution and consciousness that we're experiencing. If they could, they would rewind our solar system's orbit to do that. Do you understand with that statement exactly how vehement these people are? The same people that have put plans in place in 50 to 150 year increments and beyond, right? The same folks who made their intentions clearly known to you on the Georgia Guidestones while they still existed. Folks, what they fear is here. What they fear is already here. We're already going through the change. The question is, how aware are you of it? And where are you in your process of moving forward into higher consciousness? Me personally, I celebrate you all. I celebrate us all. We're doing it. We're doing it. So right back to that theme, take a bow. Take a bow. And celebrate yourselves. We're doing it. What we doing, King? Worldwide movement. Peace, love, respect. Big King Sadiq. I love you all. Thank you. I'm out.